Well, well, everyone, we are back. It's so hard from saying well, Taysom to saying it to Brody and Shadow, but I'm gonna have to make deal with it. But if people did not know, Taysom, like yesterday was Taysom's last podcast due to an severe injury that he's now gonna have to focus on individually for the next couple of months. But we're gonna debut we debuted the podcast, the new podcast crew, in Shadow, Brody, Caesar, and I. It was kind of scuffed. We had a lot of time, a lot of bloopers that we might release a little bit later. But if I keep ranting, everyone's going to leave before the podcast even starts. So without further ado, here is the podcast.
Welcome to the GSCS podcast. Today we're featuring Shadow, Caesar, and Mel. How you guys doing today?
Yo,
What's good?
All right, so Shadow, you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself real quick?
I'm Shadow, part of the Naptown team.
All right, and Caesar?
part of Team Comeback.
All right, and then Mel?
Yeah, I'm the commissioner of the league and game and owner of Blizzard Esports.
All right. So, first topic of the day, Ryft 1 and Satronics. Who's the better team and who has a better chance of making the championship or playoff run? Interesting topic. Probably going to be a hot topic coming up closer to the season. What do you think about that, Shadow?
It's a hard choice to make when both teams are going against each other.
Yeah.
And seeing how they do.
Yeah. You think one has like a lead over the other, or you just kind of?
I think Ryft. No, Satronics has a lead against them.
All right. I can see that. What about you, Caesar?
I think Tetronics,
So,
but I think Tetronics is the better team there, in my opinion.
Satronics.
Yeah.
So we got two Satronics here. What about you, Mel?
I mean, it's going to be close because you see how Satronics have played when they have James, they have Bacon, they have Shadow, they have Dogtooth, right?
Yeah.
And then you see, even without their full roster, how good they have played in their most recent scrims, especially the ones against Naptown, against Lunar.
Yeah.
And then you see how unstable Ryft 1 were when they played against Saturn. So I think I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go Satronics here. I think they have a better edge, and then they have high-ranked players. And then I feel because with Ryft 1, they have some chemistry together, but I think overall it's gonna be so hard to counter the Satronics playstyle.
Yeah, I definitely see that. Honestly, if it came, I think they're both obviously gonna make the playoffs, obviously, because they're top teams in here. But if I had to choose, I guess I'm the only one here thinking this, but I'm going with Ryft 1.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Rift 1 has a lower ceiling than Tetronics, though. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I do think that too.
I think Rift 1 is very beatable
I think
in terms of playstyle.
I think they just need a little bit more time to like gather themselves up, because I mean they are like a brand new team, you know, like playing with each other. Saturn was a pretty challenging team to go up against, you know, first time. So
Yeah.
I mean the scrim was, a lot of people were like back and forth.
I mean-
thing about it.
Saturn didn't play all that well though,
Yeah.
and then you still see they were being boost starved. The whole apparently Jack thing. They had the whole enchilada going up against them, and you still see how unstable those rotations were from Rift 1. I still think that Satronics have but I agree with you when I feel like Rift 1 might have a higher ceiling. By current raw gameplay, I feel like that's all Satronics, but I think about potential in the league continually forward. I think Rift 1 has the potential to be the number 1 seed over Satronics.
On to the next one. Caesar, you're gonna love this one. You wanna talk about Team Comeback coming back into the league?
Oh man. Yeah, we're back. Well, I say we're back, but Taysom's the one that brought it back.
Taysom.
I don't know. Be ready for us. We're coming.
What do you think
I mean-
what do you think your team has to offer? Like, what do you think is gonna put your team above everyone else?
Speed and efficiency. 2 words. That's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Speed and efficiency, man. That's just what I think from what I've seen from us. Still think we have a lot.
Mhm.
All right. I mean, yeah, that's like the main things you need. And I mean, if you got that locked in, then shoot. I mean, you got the league in your hands. But
Yeah, I mean, can I spit a little history about Team Comeback just for a moment?
yeah.
You want me to?
I mean, Team Comeback, they won first ever league championship. At the time, it was called the Inner Circuit Championship in 2018. They were the runner-up for the second major of 2019. They were runner-up for the 2020 major, of the July 2020 major. They were runner-up for the December 2020 major, and a runner-up for the Winter Championship for 2020 going into 2021. But I mean, this comeback team, they've had not only long history, but so many close calls of being potentially top 4, top 2 many times, and they've barely fallen short. I mean, like Taysom, he took over for Team Comeback in 2020. I mean, I'm just interested to see if this new pickup with you, Devo, and your new third, is
still
that
not
going to
sure.
be the game changer to put you guys over the hump?
I kind
I
of
think.
want to see like Team Comeback versus Ryft. Like I feel like because I mean they're both like brand new teams. They both want to make a name for themselves, and they're both pretty good. Like they're not that bad. Like I feel like that'd be a pretty good way to get your name out for one of the teams. I mean, most definitely I feel like it'd be a pretty close series too. I mean, 3-2, 4-3.
Yeah.
I really feel like it'd be fun to watch. It'd be fun to talk about, and it'd definitely get everybody up on the edge of their seat to see how this league's gonna be going.
I mean, we try to make that happen. We're still in the process of attempting to make that scrimmage happen. But what a scrimmage! What a show match! Not even a scrimmage. That has to be a show match.
Yeah, I want it to be a show match as well. I think we want personally. We want to face the best of the best. We wanted to make a statement for ourselves right away. That's just from what I think.
I mean, Caesar. Okay, so you put yourselves up against Ryft One. What big of a chance do you guys give yourself against a team like Ryft One that has a player like Clouds, who was the leading person with stats for Blizzard Esports when they won their championship? I mean, I can read that out real quick. Blizzard Esports, during their championship run in Season 5, had 3.3 goals per game, 2.2 assists per game, 2.8 demos per game, and an 82 win percentage. And then Clouds himself had 1.9 goals per game, 1.2 assists per game, and then 0.8 demos per game, which is extreme. Well, at the time, was extremely hard to get. So, I mean, against players like Clouds that have been in this league for a long time, and Clouds is a summer split MVP, what type of a chance would you give yourself percentage-wise against them?
I think we're shutting them down completely. Not biased or anything, but I think their playstyle is outdated from what I've seen. And I think they have to evolve. They have to adapt to different playstyles. They just can't. That's just from what my team biased.
Brody.
Yeah, what's up?
Bro, Caesar just put Ryft 1 in a blender and shredded.
I think.
Damn.
I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of hype around Ryft 1.
There is,
especially because they're a brand new team, and all of them left from my team. So it's like they're my former players. They went and made a new team, so everyone's like, they gotta be good, right? They gotta be good, and then it's just like the thought, like, but they're under someone else. Like they don't have the same coach, they don't have the same manager.
Yeah.
Like, how are they gonna play as good as they would if they we're still the same
We're on
play
Lunar.
style. Yeah, like I mean, it's a huge deal changing from team to team because you can't just change teams and then expect to be the same. All right, so topic number 4. Man, this podcast is getting long. Topic number 4 is Naptown Saturn a top 4 team, and do you guys think that they can take down a top 4 team like Blizzard, Ryft 1, God Alliance, Lucid, or Team Lunar? What do you guys think?
I think they're that gatekeeper team, top 5, top 6, in my opinion.
In my opinion, okay, so Naptown Saturn, I feel like if they were more organized and they were more ready for their scrims, I feel like they could be a really good team. Because even with like everything going on and cluttered and whatnot against Ryft 1, they still did pretty decent against them. So, I mean, I feel like if Naptown Saturn went against Ryft 1 again, they'd probably win. The same players that are in Ryft 1 now went against the God Alliance and 3-1 them. So I'm not sure how that'd go. I feel like that'd actually be a pretty close game, God Alliance and Naptown Saturn, but I think that they could be a top 4 team. Like in my opinion, like throughout time, if they like get organized and settled down and not so like jumbled up, I genuinely feel like they could be a top 4 team.
I mean, we have an expert on this topic too. We have Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow.
The Naptown United guy, Shadow. I mean, what do you think about this?
Well, what I think about this is that Naptown Saturn is really trying to get in those top 4s. It's been all over the private channels.
I mean, they had the talent there. They had the talent there 100%. It's just, I mean, it's like it's so. I don't really know the words for it, but it's like something just isn't going right, and that's why things are like kind of iffy about them. Because I mean, there's a reason they're still up here. There's a reason we're still talking about them.
Yeah.
It's just that they're not making a good name for themselves at this moment, because I feel like there's got to be something in the background going on. I don't know if Shadow's allowed to talk about it, but there's got.
I mean, there is something about it that we're going to talk about later, another topic that has to do with Naptown in a little bit. But you see the way that Naptown had such high expectations going into the NULS season, but they ended up underperforming a lot. They ended up barely making it into the playoffs, but only won 2 out of the almost 10 games in that season with the same exact roster that we're considering top 4 against players that they should, in my opinion, no hate to them, that I think that they should be almost sweeping. And they're taking that league 100% seriously. It's just the fact of they have the potential to be one of the best teams here. The best team here we're going to have to see. But they have the potential to be a top 4 team. I can't put them in the top 4 because just look at the top 4 lists, bro.
Yeah, like,
Look, Blizzard, Ryft 1, God Alliance, Lucid Esports, or Team Lunar. I can go all the way back down and then mention teams like NULS, Charmin B Esports, the A-Team, Comeback. So I think I might have mentioned Comeback already, but there's so many teams that are in contention, not to mention other teams like Avenue Esports and other teams that are also still signing up. I mean, Lucid, they have a lot to prove. They're a high champ, low GC1 team, but they're upsetting teams way higher ranked than them. They could be the next Muffin Boys by that storyline. How can Naptown United, which is similar ranks to Lucid, counter these upper teams? That is my question.
See, right now, the Naptown Saturn now that we have, not top 4. The potential of Naptown Saturn, however, is a top 4, if you know what I'm getting at. Like,
I think they're one roster change away from a top 4.
I don't think it's a roster change. I think
something has to click.
Something has to click. Yeah, something has to click with the team. Like, it's like whenever they're ready for a scrim, something happens, and then something doesn't go right.
Okay, I know the podcast kind of ended a little bit abruptly, but don't worry. we're gonna get it fixed in just a little while as the podcast team gets their chemistry together. We have a lot of crazy good topics tomorrow, and that's just gonna be all Brody. But thank you guys for supporting the podcast. Best wishes to Taysom where he is, and hopefully we can see him back on the podcast very soon in a couple of months. But that's gonna be it for now. Peace out, everybody. One more thing before we go. This podcast was actually an hour long. This is a shortened version. But if you want to see the uncensored and the very much blooperized version of this podcast, if that's even a word, go to the Brody Bones Twitch channel. Also in the description link below. But finally, peace out.